So welcome back to Favorite Friday. And for the last case for this week, we are going to Detroit, Michigan. This case is not as very well known. I literally have three sources for this. However, of course, it is a very graphic case, and as you can imagine, like the channel name says, there's of course a female killer. There are apparently images of the after effects, I guess, of the murder that were taken by both of our killers, which are very graphic. And spoiler alert, the photos that I'm using of the killers are from the crime scene, but of course I'm not showing the entire photo. I'm only showing what's cropped because your girl's not trying to have her channel deleted. So with that being said, just a heads up on that. And so sources down below as always. And so with that being said, I'm gonna quit my rambling and let's go and get started. So we actually have to start with Robert Berkowitz. He was born October 5th, 1948. I don't have a picture on him. It's said that he was raised in an orphanage, but I cannot verify that. Apparently, at some point in his life, he was apparently in and out of jail. And then he would apparently meet Jeanette Clark, who was at the time 19, and she was apparently born in 1960. So then, of course, the two of them start dating. So then apparently Robert had this friend named James Edward Glover, who apparently the both of them were 37. And so James and Janine, because remember Janine's Robert's girlfriend, they apparently would start fooling around with each other. And they didn't want Robert to find out, so they figured the best way to for Robert not to find out is, of course, to kill him. So then we go to the fateful day of July 14th, 1982. Apparently, Robert is on the couch with Janine watching TV, and James is there. James then leaves the room, apparently gets Robert's gun, and shoots him in the back of the head, pretty much killing him instantly with his own gun. So then after Robert's dead, Janine and James apparently go on to do a bunch of meth. They apparently started undressing themselves, and then apparently started undressing Robert, who at this point is dead. Janine apparently takes a knife and then starts cutting off his penis while James is over taking pictures with the Polaroid, because remember, this is 1980. So then they would put Robert's deceased body into various positions while James was cutting him up with an axe sword. That's what the sources are calling it, that he apparently got from his mother. After they had cut off Robert's penis, they apparently put it into Robert's own mouth, and then apparently Janine was decapitating the head while James was over taking pictures. And apparently when it came to decapitating the head, apparently they took turns, because apparently it's very difficult to decapitate a head. And then apparently after that they took turns putting Robert's dismembered body parts into certain positions and taking pictures with them. So apparently some of these images, like I said, are very graphic. Only 8 of them have been, at least about 8 of them have been released to the public, and the others we don't know where they're at, but they probably will never be released to the public because the ones that are already out are pretty graphic, so you can only imagine the ones that aren't out, what happened. And so basically, it said and one of the photos, it said that they basically took Robert's dismembered foot, took his big toe, and then put it in his mouth. Took the foot out in exchange for a hand, which I assume was also dismembered, and then took his penis, which was already dismembered, and put that in his mouth, and then put some fingers up at his nose, making it seem oh, you're digging your nose, and etc. And so during the 3 days, because like I said, they were doing meth, apparently they were over having sex and using Robert's dismembered body parts as some sick little toys. And then eventually, I guess they realized, okay, we gotta hide the body. So then apparently they chopped up Robert's body into 14 pieces and hid them across his apartment. And then once they get off their high, because eventually they gotta stop being high, Janine apparently calls the police and basically says, look, James threatened me, threatened to kill her, which, that's what they always tend to say. And I had to do it because I was scared for my life. And so then, of course, police come, they find the remains, and they find the cameras that the murder basically was photographed on. And obviously, in the photo that I showed you of Janine, she clearly is smiling like she's having a good time. So then, of course, police go to witnesses, and the witnesses were actually, there was points where Janine was alone, so she could have ran to y'all to go get help, but she really was, if her life really was in danger like that. And there was at one point where she actually apparently was out of the apartment, and I guess when James was in the apartment, because Robert was already dead by that point, and she was actually asking to get let back in. So then, as you can imagine, both were arrested. Prosecutors, of course, they're using those photos and the witness testimony as evidence. And, of course, defense kept claiming, look, she was forced to participate, she was scared for her own life. So then James apparently gets charged with second-degree murder, mutilating a corpse, and using a firearm for a felony. So then he basically pleads not guilty by reason of insanity. He's found fit to stand trial. So then after seeing that he actually is apparently fit to stand trial, he then changes the plea to guilty, and then it's sentenced to 30 to 50 years. So then Janine, because of course you gotta get her sentence too, she apparently pled not guilty to murder, but did plead guilty to mutilating a corpse, and then was only sentenced to 6.5 to 10 years in prison, as actually says she got released in 1997. And apparently, since she's been released, apparently she got arrested in Arizona because she gave like some fake tax returns from 2011 to 2013. And so for this, in 2018, she got 8 months in federal prison and 3 years probation. And apparently she also has to pay restitution to the IRS because, you know, they want their money. So yeah, that's pretty much the case of Robert Berkowitz, the murder of him. Like I said, unfortunately, I don't have any photos or even confirmed information on him. I literally found that it said that he was in an orphanage. I was lucky to find an obituary on this man. And so, with that being said, if anybody knew where Janine's at now, because it's believed that she's still alive, out of the 3 of them, do you definitely think she should have got a heavier sentence? Because I know I definitely should have, because you can clearly see in the photos, if you decide to look them up, I wouldn't, but if you decide to, you can clearly see that ain't somebody who's over here doing it against their will, at least not in my opinion. And so, with that being said, definitely your thoughts down below. Any other, I guess, dismemberment cases you want me to talk about, definitely let me know. And so with that being said, I cover fatal females 3 times a week. Subscribe for fatal females, and I'll see you guys next one. Bye.
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion. Even though I offer all of the solutions, I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you I knew this. When I'm with you I feel so useless, I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a taunt, never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm, I can feel the sweat inside my palm. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free.